Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode of the Purpose to Service podcast. So we are officially 1 week away from applications for the Purpose to Service Academy opening up to the public. So the Purpose to Service Academy is my 12-month group coaching program that teaches overwhelmed coaches and online experts how to create more ease in their coaching business through building a solid foundation and launching their signature service offer. So this is the first time that applications have been open in quite a few months because I really wanted to take a while to update the curriculum and get feedback from our current clients on what they thought would make their experience in the program even better moving forward. And I've also added in a new option to the Academy just for those who are more advanced in their business but are still wanting access to our coaching calls, our quarterly events, and of course, our amazing community of coaches and online experts. So if your goal is to build a truly sustainable coaching business that fuels the life that you desire, again, applications open up on October 12th. Make sure you have put it on your calendar. So we are officially in our last week of our 6-week series on how to build a sustainable coaching business with intention. So for the past 5 weeks, I have walked you through our 6-step framework inside of the Academy called the Purpose to Service Method, and we have covered a lot of different topics. So in week 1, we talked about how to get clear on what you really want. In week 2, we talked all about understanding who you're serving and what you're promising. In week 3, we talked about how to make the most out of your pre-launch phase. You guys really enjoyed that one. And in week 4, we talked about how to stop overcomplicating your program curriculum. And then just last week, we talked about how to price for impact, sustainability, and ease. So 5 weeks of goodness. So this week, in our final piece, we're covering the last piece in my framework, which is all about serving your clients. So a lot of coaches think that getting the clients is the hard part, when in actuality, creating and maintaining that client experience is the part that many people get tripped up on. So this is the part they get stuck on. But I've talked about this a lot before, especially here on this podcast, but the coaching industry has gained a bit of a negative reputation. So this is a highly profitable industry, and because of that, a lot of people who either don't know what they're doing or are only in this for the money have come in and operated in a way that really has caused a lot of mistrust with those who are looking to hire coaches. And I've heard a lot of different stories about coaches ghosting their clients or not providing what they promised. And I don't know if these things were done intentionally, but a lot of the bad experiences most people have had in these coaching programs really boils down to lack of integrity and it not being held up as one of their core values as a coach. So inside of the Purpose to Service Academy, our module that is centered all around serving your clients is all about creating your client process, getting clear on your personal non-negotiables, and setting those client boundaries. But for our final episode in this series, I want to talk about upholding integrity as one of your core values inside of your coaching business. So the first way is to be clear and upfront about what is required from both you and your client. So making what you expect and what can be expected from you as clear as possible literally leaves no room for miscommunication or any type of assumptions. So if the expectation is for your clients to turn in homework assignments, let's say every Tuesday, then let that be known ahead of time. On the flip side of that, if the expectation is for you to be really hands-on throughout their entire time in your program, then make sure that that expectation is very clear from the very start. So there should be several touch points inside of your program and throughout your sales process where you're clearly laying out all of those expectations. So the first place is going to be your sales page. clearly letting potential clients know what they are going to get during your time together and what your role as their coach will also look like. So making that very clear up front. The second touch point should be that during like that sales conversation. So either on your sales calls or like through your application, depending on how your program is set up. So on our application for the Purpose to Service Academy, there is a simple question that states the time commitment required to get the most out of the program, and then they have to say whether or not they can make that type of commitment. So we let it be known up front, this is what's required from you. And when I'm looking at applications, I really do take that into consideration when I'm reviewing them, because I don't want you to pay for the program, then realize that it's a lot more than what you were ready to commit to. And now you're sitting in a program where you're feeling cheated because you can't really make the most out of what all the program has to offer. So I want that to be very known up front. And you can do the same during like your sales calls as well. So while you're talking about your offer and seeing if it will be a good fit for them, also talk about what those expectations look like on both ends. So as you as the coach and also as them as the client. The second way to truly uphold integrity in your coaching business is to simply deliver on what you promised. So I know this may sound like common sense, but you'd be surprised how many things people will try to change once they realize how much work it will take to deliver on those promises that they have been promoting and marketing for months. So if you promise that you will have coaching calls every Sunday, then make sure you are prepped and ready for those calls and showing up. If you've promised specific resources, make sure they are receiving them by the time you promised. So inside of the Purpose to Service Academy, I review all of my clients' assignments as they are going through the program. And I let them know up front that all feedback requests are answered on Wednesdays. Like that's my day that I go through their assignments and review it. And y'all, there have been times where I have had a ton of other work to get done, or times where I have just been super tired and didn't feel like it, but I still made sure that I reviewed their work and provided feedback, because that is what I promised them. That is what they are paying me for, so I'm still going to deliver. So this is one of the huge reasons why I don't like that a lot of the marketing around coaching programs are centered around helping your clients to scale fast or to make a lot of money in like a super short amount of time. And I don't like that, because you're making this big promise to your clients. So you've set their expectation to be able to bring in gobs and gobs of money, but you don't even know if you can deliver on that promise. Not to mention, how everyone's financial situation and business goals are all different. And now you've made this big promise, you've promised all of these things, and as soon as that promise isn't met, you have upset clients. So live by the phrase under promise and over deliver. It will save you so much time and headaches. So the third way to uphold integrity in your coaching business is to always keep the line of communication open. So we just talked about delivering on what you promised, but as we all know, life happens and things come up often and schedules get rearranged, and that is totally okay. I'm not saying that life can't happen, but if you can't show up in a way that you promise, you have to be diligent about communicating that to your clients. So I haven't had to do it often, thankfully, but anytime that I've had to reschedule a coaching call or I haven't been able to follow up on assignment reviews, I've let my clients know that as far in advance as possible. Like as soon as I know I can't make it, I'm letting them know. And I'm also super proactive with when I'm like expecting to be able to follow up with them or reschedule those calls. So make sure that the line of communication is easily accessible. So your client should not have to jump through hoops to get in touch with you or to ask you any questions. That comes off as if you really don't value what they have to say, or that you really don't value their concerns. And it also can seem a bit shady as well. So my clients know inside of the academy that they can shoot me a private message if they don't want to go through email. And we have also created a dedicated email address that is just for clients, and that email address is made known from the time that they begin the program, and it's also posted inside of our community as well. So keep the line of communication open. And you, of course, need boundaries. I am not telling you not to create boundaries on how you communicate or when you communicate with your audience, but let those boundaries be known up front, so that there is no confusion as to when they can expect a response from you. So these are just the 3 ways to really uphold integrity in your coaching business. And I've said this before, but I love this industry so much. And I hate that it has gained sort of this bad reputation that a lot of coaches are just in it for the money, and not because they care or because of the transformation that they are able to help their clients to achieve. That really just does not sit well with me. And it's really my goal, whether it be through this podcast, through social media, or through the work that I do inside of the Purpose to Service Academy, to teach other coaches how to build a sustainable business that makes them money, of course, but also upholds integrity as one of their core values as well. All right, you guys, don't forget that applications for the Purpose to Service Academy open up on October 12th. So make sure you get on the wait list to be notified when applications open up. And I hope that you have truly enjoyed this 6-week series all about how to build a sustainable coaching business with intention. And I will be chatting with you guys again next week on launch day.